What's going on, everyone? How are you doing? Well, I know I say this in other videos, but I'm going to say it in this one, and I will do it. I'm going to get right into it, and I will talk later. Here we go.
Wait, it's like they're setting us up so they know what to expect now. But how did we not see this coming? Because you sure did.
Yes, and I've been telling the administration about this for months. You know, we have 332 million people in the United States that depend on America's farmers every day to feed them. And this administration hasn't put farmers first. You know, now they're proposing another $37 billion in aid to Ukraine, and we haven't taken care of America's farmers here at home. And the administration, like I said, isn't doing enough to make sure that farmers get the aid that they need and support that they need from this administration. We have 16,000 members that are still waiting for debt relief, and we're still finding aid for other countries. They're just not making sure that we're at the table and have a voice. And we haven't done enough in this country to make sure that we fix that. So now we're paying the price for 20% higher food costs in this country for things, and we haven't heard anything from the administration on what they're going to do for inflation in this country. Inflation is on the rise with no end in sight right now. And the president, the agriculture secretary, isn't doing enough to assist America's farmers right now. We have China who's buying America's farms. They're buying historical Black colleges in this country, and we haven't done anything about it. And this administration has been totally silent on these issues.
All right, people. So you heard that. Now, this was in 2022 when he brought this up. And so far, he has been correct. As we can see, as we all can see, if you go actually grocery shopping, you can see the prices since 2020 has skyrocketed. And it's not so much as, it's what I call fake foods, such as, the cereal full of sugar, and you got the box meals and stuff that are not all that good for you. Yeah, the prices have went up a little. But when you start to look at like organic apples or cucumbers or plums, grapes, um, organic eggs, not vegetarian fed um, chickens. Chickens need worms and bugs and stuff like that as part of their diet. It's it's like mandatory. So a side note, if you see a vegetarian fed chickens, if you see the eggs, if you see that label on the eggs, don't buy them. That's just me. I was born and raised in the South. Chickens need worms and bugs as well as grains. But if all they eat is just grains, they're not getting a full diet. And just don't. But back to what I was saying, when you get the organic food, the stuff that is actually healthy for you, that's good for you, the prices are ridiculous. Here, where I'm at in Washington State, to get actual organic eggs, you either have to find a farmer, or if you do get it from a grocery store, one of the high end grocery stores, you're going to pay at least $7 to $8 a dozen. So this is what he was talking about. And like I said, this was in 2020, 22. Now, I want to go in, and you heard the part when he was saying about, China is coming in and buying all the farmlands and the colleges. Well, I didn't find the college thing because I wasn't really looking for it, but I did find something on the farmlands because I have been hearing this for a while too. So, um, I found this on Dr. Phil that came out not too long ago, and with this the guy, the black guy, His name is John Boyd, I think. And he's a farmer. And he was on Dr. Phil not too long ago. And they kind of broke things down of what we are seeing. I'll let you be the judge. Let's hear it. Here he is again, Mr. John Boyd. He's a farmer. Here we go.
How important land ownership was. Every step you take, every step you make requires land ownership, and never, never, never sell the farm. And that's when my father didn't sell it, and he passed it on to me. And hopefully, if I can hold on, I'll be able to pass those original acres on to my children.
And now that's being threatened.
That is correct. And now China's come in, Dr. Phil, buying land at these auctions and running land prices, through the roof. And people need to understand farmers need good farm ground in order to compete. It's not like a job where you go out and you work 20 years and you get a raise. Farmers will.
On that part, I am full agreement with him. Like I said, I was born and raised in the South, and we ate from the land. And it is not easy being a farmer. It is not. I mean, you getting up early in the morning, and when the sun starts to come up, you are out there working. And when that sun goes down, that's when you get back to the house, you clean up, mom is cooking or grandma is cooking, and you eat, shower, maybe play with your brothers and sisters for a little while. Time to go to bed, get up in the morning. Keep doing that. Of course, if you're kids, you go to school, but you do your work on the weekends. But once you become a teenager, you graduate from high school and you stay home, you in the field, man, you working. And it's not slavery. You're working to feed yourself and to feed your neighborhood. And if you're good enough, if your farm is big enough, you can feed other neighborhoods. It's just how it is. Anyway.
Rely on good farm ground to expand their farming operation so that they can increase their revenue. And when you have the opportunity, Dr. Phil, to buy adjoining land that joins your farm or in that surrounding area where you farm at, farmers try to jump on that opportunity. So
you would have adjoining land that you could have purchased in the past for, say, $3,500 an acre. They're coming now paying $15,000, $20,000.
$20,000 an acre. And guess what that does to property taxes for a poor farming families just barely holding on and paying your annual taxes. It runs the taxes through the roof. And what's troubling to me is the federal government isn't doing anything about it.
Now, when these auctions happen, who represents them at those auctions?
Sometimes Dr. Phil be the little white guy with the ball cap that's bidding for them. And they set up these dummy corporations and fractional corporations. And then when the deed is recorded, it's owned by China. They're really savvy about how they moved into this country and infiltrated the agriculture sector in the United States.
All right,
So my question is, the BLM, not Black Lives Matter, the Bureau of Land Management. Now look this up and look who's in charge of it. Why haven't they stopped this? Now, I'm no subject matter expert, but I'm pretty sure you can't go to China. Nobody here can go to China and buy up land like the Chinese are doing here. But see, as he explained, they're doing it on the sly. They're getting someone else to do the bidding. And then once he said it, once it's recorded, meaning once they finalize the documents of who actually owned the land, it's China owned now. Come on now. Why isn't BLM stopping this? Why is China coming here and buying up all this farmland? Now, it's not the only thing that they're buying. Stand by.
So they buy up everything around you. Then you get all of this grain and you go sell it. And where you sell it is owned by who now?
It's owned by China, Smithfield Foods. And that's what people don't understand. They say, well, can't you just go sell somewhere else? Dr. Phil, farmers sell within 1 hour's driving distance to their farming operations. And I'm no different. It's about harvest time, time sensitive. You go out, you harvest, you get a truckload and you sell it, you come back and you repeat that process until you finish.
And so you can't expand your farm and you're selling to a Chinese buyer. If they decide to stop buying,
I'll be in trouble.
China's bought land right here to my left. They're buying companies like Smithfield Foods. And that blue truck and trailer is what I drive to Smithfield Foods to haul soybeans, corn, and wheat on, to sell to a company that's owned by China. And this is a cry and plea to corporate America. It's a cry and plea to politicians to take action and put some laws in place to stop China from selling this stuff here that I'm standing on it. Stop allowing them to buy precious soil.
The Chinese Communist government is targeting my people and conducting full-fledged genocide. I am an Uyghur. My homeland was occupied in 1949 by the People's Republic of China. They're facing mass detention. Millions of people are in the concentration camps. I came to the United States in 1989. I was invited to speak at one of the think tanks.
Now, all right, people. So I'm going to skip through a little bit of this so I don't want to make this too long. I'll leave the link for the Dr. Phil for this video. But I want you to see something, and this has to do with the map that Dr. Phil reveals of what is being done, and we do not see it. Let me skip to let me see if I can find this map. And here we go.
they're buying strategically. Is that fair to say?
That's absolutely true.
And I want to take a look. In red is where they're making a lot of these purchases. And some of these are close to military installations. And that really concerns me. So we have some of these, like Dugway Proving Ground right here. Let's take a look.
Now, for those people that live in Washington State, pay attention right here. JBLM, Joint Base Lewis McCoy. That is very, 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 very dangerous to have China that close to that base. And it's not the only one. There's a lot of things that's going on at JBLM. There's a lot of things going on in Camp Pendleton. And Fort Liberty used to be Fort Bragg, home of the airborne. Whiteman Air Force Base, for those that are familiar. The Naval Station in Norfolk, Virginia. If you're familiar with these places, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They are things there that only Americans should know about and only Americans should have access to. There should be no foreign countries buying land that close to these places. Utah Test and Training Range. Training ranges. If you are from Utah, you know what I mean.
look at what is there. Military equipment, biological, chemical weapons defense systems. These are strategically important to the United States, right? I mean, this is important stuff for our defense. And they're juxtaposed right next to it. That's not an accident, is it?
No.
Then you come over to the Missouri Air Force Base. You've got B-2 Spirit stealth bomber base, missile and drone operations, MQ-9 Reaper Global Strike Command, 3 intercontinental ballistic missile wings, Air Force entire bomber force, nuclear command.
Nuclear command. Are y'all people seeing the picture that's being painted before you right now? Now, you could you may say, there may be some that say, you know what, this is a conspiracy theory, but it's not. And this has something like this has been proven over and over again. And what I mean is, they said the Russian thing with Trump was a conspiracy theory. The spying on Americans through Facebook and the suppression of speech through Twitter was a conspiracy theory. They said all of that. But when Elon Musk bought Twitter and the Twitter files came out, it was all true, except for the Russian thing, which was funded by Hillary Clinton. Look, people, if you are close to any one of these places, be aware of your surroundings. If you see something strange, report it. Because if you see something and you don't report it and you know it's okay, this is a little weird. Why so many of these people? Why do I keep seeing the same person standing here looking into this base, taking pictures over and over again every day, and you don't report it, and then something happens? You're going to feel really, really, really shitty. Until then, people, be aware of your surroundings. You see something weird, report it. Go talk to your senators, your governors, your mayors, your congressmen, your congresswomen, and let them know, look, this is a problem. Y'all need to fix it. And the way you fix it is go to the BLM, Bureau of Land Management, and tell them to fix this. Because if not, all these red dots that you're seeing around here may start to spread and take over entire states. Now, that could be a conspiracy theory. But you know what? That's something I don't want to come true. And I can promise you, you don't want to either. Take care, people. Out.